Hi everyone, hello, good morning. I want to share with you that there are many forms of activism, and for the past 2 days, I've been going through uh, my own personal approach of activism. I've decided to be a little bit kind of on the low key for the past 2 days and to be a little bit gentle with myself because there's been a lot of emotions coming up to the surface for me as it relates to the uprise of the Black Lives Matter protest and the injustice that we're feeling in the collective consciousness regarding the killing of George Floyd. And this time around, I've been feeling the collective pain in a very different way. Not only am I feeling the pain of others that are protesting and vocalizing their pain, but I'm literally feeling the pain of my lineage coming up, my ancestors coming up in my body. And I thought to share this video because I know there may be a few people who could probably relate. It is no secret that for 400 years, there were enslaved Africans that were taken to North America and the Caribbean, which is where I'm from, Jamaica. And so what we're seeing in North America is not only pain of this generation, but pain of centuries coming to the surface. And for me, my pain has been showing up in my body. So for the past 2 days, I've been in a lot of pain, and so much to the point where the pain kind of scared me a bit, because when I tune in with the pain, it felt like it could paralyze me. Like, oh, okay. So for those who don't know, I'm quite sensitive. I'm an empath. I'm very sensitive to energy, and when it comes onto that of my lineage, I feel them very immensely. Like, I feel their presence with me. This time around, they were showing me the pain that they felt. And so this, in the current climate that we're in right now, there are thousands, millions of ancestral spirits that are feeling the rage and also contributing to the rage, because because of their unhealed past. The past was not healed. They did not heal the pain and the suffering that they went through. So for myself, I've had to make a conscious decision to be gentle with myself for the next couple of days. And then there's a full moon coming up. So I feel like with the full moon and everything, the full moon is amplifying a lot right now. And the need for gentleness turned into this awareness of how much I need to love me right now and accept me right now. And there's a deeper aspect of this. When you really tune in with the past, tune in with what happened in the past, or those that passed away with the struggles and the pain of slavery, they didn't have the freedom to love who they were. They didn't have the freedom to accept who they were. And so I feel like my a part of my activism and my journey right now is to fully, radically continue accepting and loving myself. And as I'm doing so, um as I'm doing so, I literally feel the transformation of the cells in my body. I was just sitting in on a session with my dear friend Elise, and the card that you pulled, Elise, was just so perfect. The card said, the message that was pulled from that card was to say that I heal myself by accepting myself. And as I'm repeating that, I heal myself by accepting myself, I literally feel the changes in my DNA happening. And so I guess my message is that there are different forms of activism, and the most powerful form right now, especially for those within the Black community, is to, this is not just for the Black community, but I'm just speaking to the Black community right now. The biggest form of activism right now is radically accepting you, regardless of what's happening outside. No, I know people may push back and say, oh, well, we can't accept ourselves because other people haven't fully accepted us. But that's the point. Right now, we're invited to choose us, regardless of what's happening outside of us. And we have the freedom to do that right now. We have a freedom to love ourselves right now. And this is so important because if we remember, in the past, they had only two choices. Those that went through slavery, they only had two choices. The choice was to either endure the pain that they were experiencing or choose self-destruction, which was to commit suicide. Those were their only two choices, was the pain, endure the pain, or to commit suicide. And I can tell you that throughout my own journey, there has been a lot of that. And I realized that those choices were actually not really me wanting those choices. But for those of you who are empaths or mediums, you may be able to relate to this, where we have these experiences and emotions and even thoughts that come up in our field, in our auric field, that are not our thoughts, they're not our emotions, right? And this is for everybody, regardless if you call yourself a medium or empath or whatever. There are emotions that surround us that are not always ours, and they are activated so most times through our DNA, depending on what happened in our ancestral lineage. And for a very long time, these thoughts came coming up for me, that the only choices I had in life was to struggle or self-destruct. And now, where I'm at in my empowered state, I know that these emotions, these thoughts were not mine, but they were somehow thoughts that were coming up through the activation of my DNA from what my ancestors went through. I hope this makes sense. And so I have the choice to say, right now, I have the choice to say no to either self-destruction or pain. And I have the choice and the freedom to choose love. To really choose love, to love myself, to transform the DNA of pain and suffering. And I believe that is a sustainable change, a sustainable act, a sustainable form of activism. So I wanted to share that form of activism with you, which is pure unconditional self-love and pure unconditional radically self-acceptance. Every other activism is there's no right or wrong. This is the one that I have chosen. I will also participate physically in some of the rallies coming up. But I felt like I really wanted to share this form of activism is really choosing in this moment, choosing my freedom to love myself, choosing my freedom to accept myself, because they didn't have that. um and in doing so, we are not only healing that of the past, but healing that which is within us, and creating a path for something new for ourselves. From my heart to yours, so much love. Bye.